And welcome back, everyone. Last what if of the week. The week of what if is over this week. Week of who would win starts tomorrow. And so, coming up on part 5, we start with the chunin exams. Naruto and Neji versus each other. And their fight starts out the same. Naruto immediately draws his blade, and Neji thinks like, "Oh, drawing your blade against me, I see. Does that mean you consider me a worthy opponent? It's like from my understanding, you're stronger than Lee by a large margin. I don't like to use my blade against allies, but I'm sure I won't cut you up too bad. You really don't get it. Fate has already determined me to be the winner. There's nothing you can do." And then Naruto suddenly just turns his blade and holds up his fist in the promise symbol he made to Inaze. "I've made a promise. I will win." Real quick, and someone kind of addressed it anyway, like talking about Neji and feeling bad because Neji was right about that fate, everything along those lines. Everyone was destined to be something. Look, was Naruto... It does seem a little hypocritical. I agree with that Naruto turned out to be the reincarnation of essentially a form of Jesus. Or two halves of Jesus. Two different Jesuses. But, no, seriously. Like he was a reincarnation of like a uber powerful individual. But destined to be Hokage, I don't agree with that. Naruto still had to work for what he had. Just because he was the reincarnation of someone does not mean he still didn't have to work for what he had. If he were to, the part 1 is a perfect example of this. Naruto kind of sucks at what he does for a long time in part 1. He gets better as the series improves, let's be clear, but start of the series? No, he sucked. And if him being the reincarnation of someone really meant that he was destined to be awesome, he would have been awesome from the very beginning. He would have been a prodigy. Naruto's similar actually to Goku in the sense that it's about hard work paying off. Now, you can make the argument too that Goku had a lot of latent potential, and we know that. But he still had to work to get there, and Naruto's no different. Naruto still had to work to get there. The fact that he was the reincarnation of someone just maybe helped, but I'd actually argue it didn't even help him really, because him being a reincarnation of someone didn't matter, Azura as it is, didn't matter until Shippuden, and late into Shippuden, because Naruto nearly died multiple times within the series up until that point. He was getting beaten soundly several times in that series. So I don't agree with the idea that Neji was right. Neji was lucky with how he kind of, with some of what he was spouting about SM, because apparently reincarnation does exist. But I don't think Neji is 100% right, because obviously we know for a fact that fate doesn't work that way, because Neji defied his fate and did what he chose and sacrificed for himself for Naruto. Now, again, I'm sure someone's going to get on my case for the argument of that, and that's fine. We can all agree and disagree. It's fine. But regardless, let's move back onto the story. So Naruto, and then the match begins, and Naruto, kind of just points his sword directly at Neji, and he comes in immediately and starts his attack. And he's moving, and he's fast. And Neji admits that he's faster than when he fought Kiba, because Naruto's been training a lot during the 4 months. Again, never missing leg day, or arm day, or chest day, or any day. So his strike is a lot faster, and Neji does have to dodge out of the way. He goes in for a strike, but Naruto flips the blade in his hand and just comes in again to try to just basically take off Neji's head. And Neji, about to hit Naruto, has to duck and stretch out of the way so he can't hit Naruto. Naruto grabs his arm and immediately goes in for a punch while the sword's still in his hand. Neji's able to dodge, and he goes to strike Naruto's arm. Naruto twists his arm again to try to hit Neji. Neji does manage to hit his arm, but just like in the original, he actually misses the chakra point, and Naruto and him kind of back up a little bit. Naruto's like, that was close. I almost got hit there. Let's try this instead. Shadow Clone Jutsu! Makes the 5 clones, comes in, and they all start going at Neji. And now Neji's on the back foot. Like, Neji is on the defensive because 5 Naruto, even he had to at least put an effort against the 5 Narutos, because that many opponents are difficult. Now, he still took care of them in the original, but here they also have, a giant F-off sword. So that reach makes it for a bigger problem. He can't hit the blade. That's not going to pop the clone. He actually has to hit the clone. So he's now dodging. He even manages to get like a cut on his cheek as he just pops the other clones out. Naruto again makes a bunch more clones. The clones come in at him, and Neji just says, please, and just rushes in. It's like, this is pointless if you just leave your real body back here. And the clones start disappearing. It's over. And it's like, really? It's like, man, you really are gullible. You call and to which Naruto, obviously, Neji pops out. That Naruto pops out of existence. Neji's like, what? He had a clone back here instead. Naruto comes in. He's like, got you! Rotation! And his sword clashes with the dome. And Naruto initially is kind of grinding against it, but then gets blasted back. So, catches himself. What the hell? What the hell was that? And, Hashirama. Hiashi is stunned by the fact he was able to learn the rotation. Naruto and him are just kind of staring each other down again. And Naruto comes in once again. Let's try that one more time. It's like, you know what the definition of the sandy is, Naruto. Naruto's kind of got the grin on his face. Like, we're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Rotation! And he does the rotation, except this time Naruto, when he hits the dome, is just, he actually brings out both hands, and instead of stopping for a bit and being pulled back, it's actually clashing with the dome, to which Neji's like, what? I just had to get used to what that felt like. And he brings down both, and yeah, they're really kind of clashing with each other, and the force actually forces Neji's knees to buckle just a bit. He's still in the rotation too, but he's able to finally just put some extra chakra into it and just boing. And Naruto's sword briefly leaves his hand, but he makes a clone catch it and tosses the sword to him. And Naruto kind of lands on his back, but he quickly gets up. Only to see Neji right in front of him. You're within my 8 trigrams. 2 palms, 4 palms, 8 palms, 16 palms, 32 palms, 8 trigrams, 64 palms. And Naruto gets but just as Neji's done, Naruto still is able to swipe, and he manages to tag Neji again, because Neji just wasn't expecting him to be able to move again. And so he's got this nice little gash. Nothing serious, but he's got a cut down his area right here. That's impressive to think you were able to move after having 64 of your chakra points sealed away. That blade's sharper than it looks for something so jagged. You shouldn't underestimate your opponent. And Naruto almost collapses. He's actually having to use the sword to hold himself up. It's over. You can barely stand, let alone fight. And it's like, what? And then Naruto and him have their conversation about his past, the Hyuga clan, all that. And Naruto hears this, and he offers his sincerest apology. Honestly, like, he didn't, because Naruto has been, not objective, that's not the right word, treated terribly throughout the village throughout all of his days. But so what? So what if whatever people think of it? You make your own destiny. And ref called the match. He can't fight anymore. And fight anymore. It's like, says who? And then Neji comes in and just boom, hits him again. Oh, Naruto's now actually coughs up just a little bit of blood. It's like, it's over. It's over. You cannot fight anymore. Naruto stands up one more time. Man, you really are something else. And then he just imagines the button in his head, imagines the seal. It's like, and Neji again, why fight against the inevitable? Why fight against why try to prove people wrong? To which Naruto, instead of doing the whole anger thing, he just kind of smiles, because this Naruto is definitely a lot more battle hungry, not a straight again, I always got to remind you, not a straight Zaraki clone, but battle hungry, a lot more confident in himself, and meanwhile he hears the voice of Nozarashi. He's like, why do you fight, Naruto? I'm fighting to avenge Hinata. What is that all? What do you mean? It's like, why do you fight? I'm fighting to avenge Hinata. I already told you. I see. And then she just disappears. Like, what? What is she talking about? And then so Naruto just smiles like, because people called me a failure. I'll prove them wrong. And then obviously Neji sees the chakra flowing through him, and the chakra is just flowing off him like it does. Like in the original, it like showed off like 9 tails worth of chakra. It didn't actually, wasn't using the full chakra, but still came off like 9 tails. And again, it's like that aura. And again, someone brought up that in the original canon, Naruto only gained like the eye traits and the thick whiskers when he was under like an enhanced emotion like anger or something. And that's true. That is very true. Here, I've kind of altered it a little bit because Naruto's personality is a lot more aggressive here, and definitely has a bit more enjoyment of battle. So, I think it makes sense for him to be able to access more of that raw state versus that more controlled state. Which, if I'm not mistaken, by the way, I think the raw state, the one with the eyes and the whiskers and the fangs, is actually stronger than just the bit of chakra Naruto was pulling from. I can't remember if that's confirmed, but I think it is. Either way, Naruto just kind of flexes and just, and beyond that, his healing factor would kick in too, helping him with the internal damage. Again, keep in mind, the Uzumaki do have a healing factor. It's not Wolverine level healing factor, like he can't regrow an arm unless he were to somehow know the Genesis Rebirth, or I think it's like 100 hands or something like that. But no, they can't like regrow limbs, but and they can't like regrow an organ or something like that, but they can recover from a lot. Some people have called this a Kekkei Genkai. I disagree with that. First off, if you ever go to a list of Kekkei Genkai, it's not listed as one. The adamantine chain is, and only a handful of Uzumaki can even use that one. But I liken it honestly to Hashirama's regeneration, like the Senju level regeneration. That's not a Kekkei Genkai. A Kekkei Genkai is strictly an ability that's passed down throughout the ages, and not every member of your clan has it. I mean, as far as we know, all the Uchiha and the Hyuga had it, but it's like a technique almost. Now, there are Kekkei Genkai that function more as just like physical enhancements, as far as I know, but I can't think of any they still offer an ability. The Uzumaki don't have that, but it's just the biology of their clan. They have so much more life force and chakra. Again, I have never personally considered it a Kekkei Genkai. A lot of people seem to think it's a Kekkei Genkai. I don't believe it is. And yes, it gets past. All the Uzumaki seem to have this trait, but a Kekkei Genkai, like, then that you'd have to explain the adamantine chain then, because the adamantine chain is a Kekkei Genkai from everything I know, but only a handful of Uzumaki actually have that ability, and that's usually the whole idea of a bloodline trait, is that not everyone in the clan usually obtains it. It's like any sort of genetic dominant traits, non-dominant traits, recessive traits. Regardless, Naruto can still recover, and the Fox Chakra is helping that immensely. And you get the music playing, and Naruto's just kind of standing there with his like toothy grin. So then, it's like, you and me have something in common, Kanji, you and me have something in common. We both like close combat. And Naruto rushes in, and Neji's like, tries to like again hit Naruto, but this time the chakra is actually kind of acting like how ironically Zaraki did against Ichigo, acting almost like a shield. And Naruto just grabs him and just throws him. Naruto then pulls out a couple shuriken that he did have in his belt, because he still carries those. Tosses them. Neji blocks, tosses them back at Naruto, who just counters it with a rushing swipe of chakra from his blade. Him and Neji square off, and Neji pulls out a kunai, goes into the rotation with the kunai, and they clash, and it's just a giant explosion. And Naruto's just kind of having a buzz. Boom! And the dust settles. Neji's about getting up. And Naruto pretty much is on the ground. I think Naruto pretty much does what he does here, except he kind of just, he's not hiding under the clone. He's just behind. The clone's there to kind of distract Neji. Sorry, but this is the reality. Is it now? When Neji realizes what Naruto was like in the dust the whole time, it's like, and then he just kind of decks Neji and just boom, and then a clone. It was your special. You had to distract me. Yeah, and you fell for it. Naruto just kind of shinks his sword, and Naruto again, a little definitely tired, but still very much capable of kind of having conversation. Again, not being more like that. I failed the exam 3 times. 3 times. in a row. And the technique I couldn't get down the Shadow Clone Jutsu. So don't tell me you can't change, because unlike me, you're not a failure. Only this time it's more like kind of just like, I failed the exam 3 times in a row. You know what? And the one technique I could never get down to Shadow Clone Jutsu. And to which Neji just glowing looks at, so don't, it kind of gives him more like a grunt, like, so don't tell me you can't be something different, because unlike me, you're not a failure. And everyone's cheering for Naruto. Like, oh yeah, awesome. So obviously Hayashi would talk to Neji. Most of the exam fights from here on out would go the same. Shikamaru would struggle a bit more with Tamara because that hole in the ground isn't there. But I still think he'd get the win. And then you'd have Sasuke versus Gaara. And Gaara and Shikamaru and Naruto see Gaara, take out those guys in the hallway. And they're both like, what the hell? And Gaara just walks away. And Naruto hardens his gaze very quickly. Like, he's still shocked by what he saw, but like, And then again, the voice of Nozarashi. Why do you fight, Naruto? It's like, I fight to protect people from guys like him. Is that all? It's like, I don't know what you're asking. So, and Nozarashi again just disappears. She's looking for that right answer. Meanwhile, Sasuke does show up, nearly getting kicked out several times, but he does show up. And on his holster, now someone brought this up, and it was a good idea, actually, so I decided to adopt it. Thanks to the person who gave me the suggestion. He's got a tanto. I think it's a little longer than a standard tanto, but he's got the chakra saber, Kakashi's white chakra saber. Basically, Kakashi gifted it to him because he wanted something to keep up with Naruto. He said, I want to learn swordsmanship. It's like, I have just the thing. You'll be able to channel your chakra through it a lot more effectively. And so Sasuke and Gaara's fight begins, and it would go a lot easier for Sasuke. Not to say it was going poorly for Sasuke originally, but Gaara certainly was not easy. Like the Sandshire clone, all that. Sasuke tries to fire style, turns to glass. When he fires off like sand attacks, Sasuke channels lightning chakra through the blade and kind of just disrupts the sand. Ultimately, it does still result in Sasuke using the Chidori. Excuse me. I need to eat something. Him using the Chidori, piercing Gaara. Should note that Naruto and Shikamaru do get to Kakashi. He's like, we need to stop the match right now. Say, oh no, Naruto, it's not. Sasuke will be fine. It's not. That's not what I'm talking about. We need to stop the match. Sasuke can't beat this guy. Oh, Naruto, you just saying that because you want to fight Gaara. And Naruto doesn't admit, no, not just because I want to fight Gaara. Gaara, this isn't Kenpachi where it's like, of course I want to fight him. But that's not the point. No, Naruto's still very worried. No, he's like me. And it's like, Kakashi's like, he's like me. And Naruto pulls up the 9 fingers. And that causes Kakashi to go, what? I don't know which one, but he's like me. And maybe the fox has kind of been like, blasted Shikaku, the one tail. Maybe he's kind of let that slip. So Naruto doesn't know which one. Still, Sasuke should be able to handle himself, and sure enough, he can. Meanwhile, as the fight comes, Sasuke puts the arm through his shoulder. It's like, my blood? It's my blood! And so he freaks out. The attack on the attack on the Leaf Village begins. Naruto, though, because of his chakra, Kurama, and even Nozarashi, isn't affected. And so when the sound ninjas come up, Naruto immediately draws a sword and actually cuts one down immediately. And someone brought up and said that Naruto probably would be affected, but it probably wouldn't be to a great deal. And I kind of agreed with the assessment that when he killed Haku, or attempted to kill Haku, he probably would have been affected, but he probably wouldn't have been anything that would have impacted the story greatly. And so now, between Nozarashi, Kurama, and just having killed someone more or less before, Haku would have died. It would have been Naruto's fault had Haku just stayed there. I do argue, though, Haku could have lived if he just froze up the blood for a little while. But regardless. So Naruto, at this point, is not averse to killing someone if he has to. And just... And then the sound Jonin are coming in, but Naruto is like actually just cutting him down. But like Jonin or not, Jonin apparently, like, qualifications to be a Jonin seem to vary a little bit from village to village, because even though those were sound Jonin, they really weren't that strong. I mean, yeah, we only see like the Jonin taking them out, But, I mean, let's be honest, we don't really know what kind of techniques these guys really had. So I could see Naruto, who at this point is well into the chunin levels of strength, probably even, like, if you're talking full-on Kurama chakra, all that, probably even low jonin in terms of strength. So Naruto's cutting a couple down. Kakashi says, Naruto, you're needed out there. You got to go get Sasuke. Now, go with Zapaka will lead you and Shikamaru and Sakura. And so they head out. Shikamaru obviously stays behind. Sasuke struggles. His curse mark activates all against Gaara, only for Naruto to come in and just slice Gaara, nearly taking off his giant sand arm. But that arm is thick. So even Naruto is not going to be able to cut, because he doesn't have Fox Chakra coursing through him right now. But that arm is thick. So it nearly comes up, but it starts to just reform saying, Naruto Uzumaki. Yes, you're the one I want. It's like, you need to get out of here now. Sakura, get Sasuke out of here right now. It's like, you're not going anywhere. Sakura! And she gets it. You? And Naruto tries to go to help and says, where are you going, Naruto? She's nothing. You fight me or she'll die now. And it's like, and Naruto, pissed off, just, again, funnels some Fox Chakra into him. And just luckily he's able to break that and get starts like, he broke that sand. Not possible. It was harder than metal. And Naruto's saying, you made a big mistake threatening my comrade. Threatening my friend. Sasuke! And it's like, get Sakura out of here now. Yeah, it's like, I won't. It's like, and he looks at Sasuke. It's like, no, you need to get her. You're in better shape than me. Believe me, I'll hold him off. If this is where it's just meant to end, then so be it. I will not allow my comrades to die. Naruto just looks at him and was like, you were, and Sasuke, never tell anyone I said this. But you're my best friend. It's like, now stay. No, it's like, what? What are you talking about? It's like, what? Now, but no, you need to go. I'm the one who can take it on. And he just flexes. Like, so you want to go? You want to go, Gaara? Let's go. Yes, come at me, Naruto Uzumaki. Come at me. And Naruto just comes in. And this time he practically takes the arm, but Gaara immediately does sand shuriken because Naruto's point blank. Boom! Naruto gets blasted. And again, he just hears the voice. Why do you fight, Naruto? I'm fighting to protect Sakura and Sasuke. Is that all? You keep asking me this question. Why? And meanwhile, Naruto just comes in again. Just they're clashing back and forth for a while. But Gaara keeps transferring more and more to Chikaku, and it starts to become a losing fight. If he can just get a solid strike, and he can severely wound Gaara. And at one point, he even manages to give a shallow cut on his chest. The sand's taking a lot of the front, but he can do that. Gaara, though, immediately just overwhelms him with the sand. It's like, I'm going to correct you into pulp. It's like, yeah, good luck with that. And all of a sudden, the sand bursts as a partially, like, second state former Sengon is created. And it's not perfected, like all the chakras running off, and Naruto just kind of rushes in and just blasts what he can into Gaara, and it does still do damage. Naruto then comes again, stabs it straight on, which does go through his shoulder straight, like worse than what Sasuke did. Sasuke only got partially deep into his shoulder. This runs right through. It's like, yeah! And just starts lifting Gaara up. And just, boom! With both hands, launches him into the ground. It's like, this is over! It's like, not him. There's no way I'm gonna lose to a guy like him. And Gaara just, Naruto gets blasted back. What the hell? It's like, whoa. And Naruto's feeling giddy. He's like, whoa, so that's what's inside of him. I can't wait to, what the? And then he's like, thank you, I'll give you a quick death. He just thinks back to his friends. Summoning Jutsu Sand Coffin! Boom! And then Gamu's like, Naruto, why am I here? I see, Shikaku the Sand Spirit. Oh, and it's like, and Naruto's kind of giddy, and he can see it, Gamuto can see it in his eyes. Why? It's like, are you okay, bro? You seem a little unhinged. Sorry, I'm just kind of excited to fight a guy like this. But we also gotta keep Sakura and Sasuke safe, I see, There, hold on tight then, brat. And, he comes in, makes the cut. Oh, that kind of hurt. And, well, sorry. He's so heavy, I barely was able to make that cut. Water bullet, wind bullet, and they're clashing. I need to be able to grab onto him. Conjure something with teeth and claws. So he makes Kurama. And unlike before, Naruto's kind of tapped out of his Kurama chakra at this point. Like, he's now running on his own fumes, which has already been on for a bit. He just gets caught, and he can't. And he's able to cut one of the sand tendrils, and he just, it's like, you, and then Gaara's like, I'm gonna crush you. It's like, he flexes a little bit of his chakra the best he can, gets some of it, and just says, now screw it, I'm gonna toss him up there. Shikaku blasts Bunta point blank. Bunta goes like, so Naruto's in the air, and he's just kind of like, and he hears the voice one more time. Why do you fight, Naruto? Why do I fight? You've been asking me that all day. Why do you fight? I fight to protect my friends. Is that all? And Naruto finally, because he's still kind of like smiling a little bit, like he's in pain, but he smiles. Like, no. It's like, yeah, I can't. Yeah, I know what you want me to say. Yeah, then tell me, why do you fight? I fight because it's fun. And then hear this name and say it true. And it's like, you're dead, Naruto Uzumaki! The one Shikaku arm is coming up. Drink! Nozarashi! And then the blast of chakra. Bun's like, what in the... And he just sees the giant war cleaver that we see right here. And just comes in, and then it just bypasses it. And he doesn't hit Gaara. He hits basically dead center of the Shikaku form now, because Gaara's awake. And Gaara nearly loses his arm. Like, the force is so powerful, because of his sand, it doesn't take his arm off, luckily. But his arm's like just done. Like, it's not, like, if he doesn't get medical attention, he won't be able to use that arm again, which luckily he doesn't really do that for combat anyway. Though Boruto Gaara is actually very good with hand-to-hand combat now. So it's like, and then the Shikaku just splits straight in half, just, and then, unfortunately, he can't keep it active. He's tired out. He's beaten down. Naruto can't keep this thing activated for very long. So the Shikaku Glyph, Gaara lands on a tree. Naruto also lands on his tree with just his base Zanpakuto. Just, and Naruto does have a bit of a smile, but he's also got a bit of a glare on him. Because it's still that, like, anger glare, anger that Naruto was feeling originally. Like, you're threatening my friends, regardless. Like, Naruto, basically what Nozarashi wanted to admit was, it's great to protect your friends and fight for them, but that's not what you need to earn my power. And you need to admit it to yourself. You like to fight. You love to fight. And Naruto and him clash, and Naruto one more time just gives a swipe with the sword. And nearly takes his arm, like, he's got, a swipe against the chest. He's basically now going to have a cross-shaped scar. He's going to have an X on his chest now. And it will be a scar he probably carries for the rest of his life. And Gaara falls down, and Naruto just falls on the ground too. But because he's a little bit like a Kenpachi, not a true Kenpachi, that's a different video entirely where he's resurrected. He's a reincarnation of Kenpachi, which is an entirely different beast of a Naruto. You think this is a different Naruto? Oh, no. This is not the Kenpachi Naruto. That's a different Naruto entirely. But Naruto still has got the kind of, like, that durability and resolve it. Because in the original, he barely could move. He was crawling his way to Gaara. But here, he's able to kind of, and just kind of stand up. He's up against a tree with the blade in his hand. And he talks to him mano a mano, and he even says the same thing he says always. It's unbearable, isn't it? The loneliness, the way people look at you, it's unbearable. It's like, I was like you once. I alone. It's sad. I know what it's like to be alone. What happened? But I found someone. People who like me, care about me for who I am. They saved me from their loneliness. Oh no, actually, Gaara asks, why would you do this for anyone but yourself? Because they saved me from my loneliness, and so I will do everything I can to protect them, even if I have to. And he just points the sword, even if I have to kill you. And finally, Sasuke shows up, and Kankuro and Temari. Naruto is ready to go again if he has to, and he's just huffing, and he's tired. And it's like, Sasuke finally shows up. It's like, Naruto, it's all right. Sakura's all right. Good. That's a relief. He catches him. And so we end part 5 with the funeral of the third Hokage. Third? Yeah, third. I had to remember which one Sarutobi was. And Kisame and Itachi about to enter the village. And so that is the end of part 5. Naruto has gained Nozarashi. He's finally gained the Shikai. But remember, as big as even though Naruto is getting bigger in size, growing, he's and I'm good. I ended this at the perfect time. The battery's about to run out. We got a few minutes left. Nozarashi's huge. He still has to keep it like on his back, just the base. This thing is monster. Like this thing is double Naruto's height minimum, maybe even triple it. But to be fair, he can still kind of wield it on like without too. It's still his sword, so he should be able to wield it without that much difficulty. There will be difficulty, be sure, and that's something Naruto will be working on. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Later.